Colorado High School Activities Association football is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com tonight from Valley High School. It's a Patriot League East clash as the visiting Brush Bee Diggers take on the Valley Vikings. John Beltran back with Dave Urich. As
to start this game off, Valley will receive the ball.
The Valley Vikings have won the toss. They'll receive, coached by Ryan Burkholder. The Bee Diggers coached by Reed Call, assisted by Aaron Quinlan, Travis Lefevre, Rick Call, Ken Call, Dusty Quick, and Brady Walter along with Bob Baer. Bee Diggers dressed in their road whites with the maroon pants, and Valley in all black. And the Bee Diggers are going to be successful tonight, Dave, as we talked about during Bee Digger Blastoff. They got to go to their big gun, Jaron Peterson, who despite the 1-4 records had a very nice season.
You know, and that's something Coach Call is really good about. He's going to put the ball in his money man's hand. He's going to get it there however he can, whether it's throwing it to him or pitching it to him or handing it off. And I think Jaron's up to that challenge. But I think it's going to start right here with this kickoff. We got to have some great special teams play, and that's something our kickoff team struggled this year.
Yeah, without a doubt. Aaron Trujillo and Gabriel Delgado are back deep to receive, and Carlos Urbina to kick it off for Brush. The Bee Diggers won once in September. That was against Lamar. Very convincing 34-0 victory, but unfortunately it's been downhill since then, even though they lost to Eaton in overtime, and that's where the downslide started. And that is high and fairly deep. It's going to be, nope, it's going to bounce at the 3 and bounce into the end zone. It looked like Trujillo was going to catch it at the 3, and he let it go. That's already a good sign for the Bee Diggers on special teams if you can do that every time. And it'd be nice if every time were 3 or 4 times, which means Rush would get into the end zone. Now let's see what the Bee Diggers can do against this offense.
Big question is, what's Valley bringing to the table? You know, they watched that film from the last couple of weeks and focus on trying to throw the ball. You know, that's going to be interesting to see what they do here.
The opening kickoff
Rafael Delgado is your quarterback.
tonight was brought to you by Buildings by Design, the experience to complete your project from start to finish. That's Buildings by Design. Delgado, the quarterback, will keep it on the option right. He'll pitch it, and there's going to be a big loss out to the right. There's about 5 Bee Diggers over there. And that was Tylen Nash getting swarmed under, Dave. I mean, there was at least 5 or 6 Bee Diggers. You couldn't even count them at this point.
Well, Valley didn't do their homework. They should have come out throwing the football.
Yeah, loss of 5 to the 15. 2nd down and 15 to go. Isn't it amazing how Brush is so good against the run? And
they are.
But, you know, once the pass is part of the opposing team's game plan, that's where they struggle. Delgado now in a shotgun. 2nd and 15 from the 15. 5 yards behind the center. He's going to keep it to his left, and he fumbles the ball. He stripped, but he lands on it back at the 10. And again, tremendous penetration. I think that was Cade Urich getting in there, Dave, to throw him for a 5-yard loss. 3rd down and 20.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't lose the ball. It bounced on the turf. Delgado went down to his belly, and the ball happened to roll right underneath him. Otherwise, there was enough Bee Diggers around there to come up with the fumble.
Well, let's remember that it was 2 weeks ago that Faith Christian converted a 3rd and 18 on their second drive. Trips to the left. 3rd and 20 from the 10. Dunkers coming on a blitz. Back to throw. Deep over the middle. Incomplete. And well covered out there was Josh Flanagan, and he was defended nicely by the freshman Nick Wellen. It'll be 4th down, and Valley's got a punt. Great start for the Diggers.
You bet he's going to have to punt from inside his end zone. Wellen bumped him a little bit, but it was so incidental as they were both running down the field. The referee didn't hesitate and didn't throw the flag.
Looks like Tylen Nash will be punting. Trent Mount out of this game. And that punt is an end over end, fielded at the 36 and down to about the 33, trying to get the returner for the Bee Diggers, who caught that on the fly at the 32. And that's Ben Brown doing a nice job. And Brush has got outstanding field position. 10:28 to go here in the opening quarter, starting at the Valley 32.
What a great play by Ben. You know, he doesn't let that ball hit the ground. He catches it, even has some courage and takes off and runs up the field. A lot of times the kids let those bounce. They roll down the field another 20, 30 yards. He saved a lot of ground.
1st and 10 for the Bee Diggers. With a naked backfield, Peterson is in motion to the right. And the throw out to Peterson. He wants to chuck it down the field towards the end zone. It is incomplete. Ben Brown had to turn to his right. It was a lateral from Urick to Peterson. They pulled that off with different players against Lamar. It'll be 2nd down and 10 to go. Good idea, but let me tell you, Ben Brown was well covered.
Yeah, the kid stayed right with him the whole time, and Ben actually pushed off a little bit as he spun around to try to make a play on the ball on the inside of the field. And he got both hands out there. They were in position. He just couldn't come down with it.
2nd down and 10 for Brush. Let's see if they give it to Peterson this time. Trips to the right with a football at the Valley 32. In a shotgun is Cade Urick. Man in motion to the left, hand off to Peterson. Big hole up the middle to the 20-yard line, down to the 10, and he's by himself. Touchdown. Nobody touched Jaron Peterson. An easy score for the senior. 32 yards away, and the Bee-Diggers break out on top. 6-0.
You know, Brushcott Valley so worried about that pass protection over there on the left side with those multiple formations that they lined up in. And, man, Peterson got the ball. He turned it up there in that B gap. There was nobody there. Nobody within a semi-truck.
That's a 15-second drive. Let's see if J.R. Puga can convert the extra point, and that is a beauty from here, and he drills it. 10-13 to go in the opening quarter. It's Brush 7, Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Jaron Peterson scores from 32 yards out. And just like that, the Bee-Diggers very early on have got the lead here in Gilchrist. The extra point was good at 7-0. And again, Urbina to kick it off. Let's see if we can get another one into the end zone off the bounce. Very impressive for Brush so far. This one is high and pretty deep. That will be fielded by Trujillo at the 5. Running to his right across the 15, the 20. He's got a seam across the 35 to about the 37. And again, Dave, you've highlighted that. An issue for the Bee-Diggers is kick return coverage, but we've seen it worse than that.
That was scary. Boy, that kid's fast. He was running up the field. If he would have got past one more tackler, he was going to be off to the races. Diggers might want to start kicking that thing out of bounds.
1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 38-yard line. Delgado under center, man in motion to the right. The ball is dropped, and then Delgado falls on it at the 37. Well, that's 2 times already Delgado has mishandled the football. Well, one time he was stripped.
Well, both times Dunker's coming up there like he's going to blitz. Or, well, is that Ryan Dunker. Holy cow, man. He gets up there, and I think he gets that center a little bit nervous, and he's causing the mesh to get mistimed.
2nd down and 11 for Valley at their own 37-yard line. Baxton and I. There's the give on the right side to Trujillo. He's hit after a couple of yards at the 39. Looks like Riggs Tan made the hit. 3rd down and 9. We get to the Bee-Diggers starting lineup if the offense was out there long enough, but we'll just run through players here on both sides. Bee-Diggers starting lineup tonight brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. Locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. Available 24/7 for your banking needs. 3rd and 9. Brush at their own 39-yard line, leading 7-0. And there's the handoff on the left side across the 45. That's a 1st down for Trujillo. Tackled at the 50. It's a gain of 11. Adrian Lopez made the play, but Brush was caught a little bit off guard. They thought it was going to be a pass.
Yeah, we blitzed our right linebacker. He actually went up there and he shot in there in that A gap, maybe the B gap on this side. Brush is in that 5-3, so they run it off tackle on this side. We just didn't have anybody there to tackle him.
1st and 10 for the Vikings at midfield. 8:45 to go in the opening quarter, and Dave and I are thoroughly dressed. Temperatures in the 50s. And there is the pitch left, swinging it back to the middle. Trujillo now back to the left side. He's hit at the 45 by Ben Brown, but that's a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 to go. Keep in mind this Valley team last week trailed Weld Central 21-0 at halftime, made a major run in the second half, only to lose 28-21.
They got a couple of big lugs on the offensive line, but really don't have us outsized.
2nd down and 5 for Valley at the Bee-Digger 45. Backs remain in an eye. Trujillo is the deep back. Delgado hands it off to Trujillo running right. Swings it back to the middle, and he's hit by Jaron Peterson. He tripped him up around the right ankle. It's a gain of only about a yard, if even that. We'll call it third down and a short 5 to go.
It looked like he might take off to the races, but Peterson's so quick from that linebacker position. He flew up there and he hit him low. Got arms down there on his below his knees.
Third down and 5 inside the Beet Digger 45. On the opening drive, the Beet Digger scored on 2 plays. Delgado to throw to his left over the middle, incomplete. Oh boy, and that slant. That was thrown well over the target. And it was closer to the sideline than the middle. I thought it was going to, the receiver was going to keep going, and that was that Flanagan on the, what's the number on that? I guess it was Flanagan.
Ben Brown had good coverage. Like you said, the ball was 2 or 3 yards over his head.
It looks like Valley will go for it. On 4th down and 5 from the Beet Digger 45. Big moment here for the Beet Digger defense. Backs in an eye. Under center's Delgado. He's going to hand it off to Trujillo up the middle, and he's got a first down. It looks like, he's right at the stick at the 40-yard line. Be a gain of 5. He was tackled by Riggs Tan. Yeah, I don't think they have to measure. I think he picked it up, Dave.
Yeah. They got us worried about those twins over here on this side, and thinking pass, but really they just ran that draw up the middle. And tell you what, like you said before, Trujillo's fast.
1st and 10 for Valley at the Beet Digger 40-yard line. Flanagan, the receiver, to the left. Josiah Carizales to the right. Delgado will hand it off to Trujillo running left. He's got a couple of yards. Excellent penetration there by Peterson and Andrew Guzman. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the Beet Digger 38-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive already, and Valley doing a good job of using up some clock.
Yep. Diggers just got to come up with another big stop. That 2nd down's been killing us.
From the 38-yard line, 2nd down and 8. 2 receivers split out to the right. Trujillo's had a bunch of carries so far. Under center, Delgado, the pitch right to Trujillo. He's got running room to the outside, but then it's cut off quickly. Cut off by Jade Queen, and he's got nothing. David looked like he had a seam, and Queen just cut off that lane. It's 3rd down.
Well, I thought he was going to take it to the sideline, but he actually made it only to about where the hash mark is on the other side of the field. Looked like he planted his right foot to try to cut it up and lost his footing, and Queen was right there.
Can the Beet Diggers get off the field? Last week, in the opening half, Sterling was 3 out of 5, but the 2 that Brush stopped them on, they went for it on 4th down and converted twice. Twins to the left. 3rd down and 8 from the Beet Digger 38-yard line. Under center, Delgado is going to roll to his left. Blitz coming, setting up, throwing underneath. The pass is incomplete, wide of the target at the 36-yard line. That was a long heave towards Carizales. Is that a flag down there, or is that just something else at the 38-yard line, Dave? Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a corn shuck.
Yep.
Well, you mentioned Trujillo. He's got 7 carries for 27 yards, but he's the man here. They've thrown it 3 times, missed all 3, and Delgado's been sacked a couple times. The Diggers, 4th down. The only guy that's doing anything is Trujillo. They got to zero in on him.
2 receivers out to the right. A receiver in on the slot. 4th and 8 for Valley at the Brush 38-yard line. Delgado again under center. 5-step drop, looking to throw. Off his back foot, deep over the middle. Incomplete, and not even close. And I think Flanagan was looking for a flag, but Delgado has overthrown his receivers at least 3 or 4 times, and the Beet Diggers take over on downs.
Well, lucky for us, Delgado was a lot more accurate in the pregame. A lot of that's because the Diggers are putting some pretty good pressure on him. Pressure isn't all coming from the defensive ends either. We're getting some heat up the middle.
1st and 10 for the Beet Diggers at their own 38-yard line. In a shotgun is Cade Uhrig. He will keep it himself right up the gut across the 40 to about the 41-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and about 7 to go, just past the Beet Digger 41. 5.5 to go opening quarter. Brush 7, Valley nothing on a 32-yard run by Peterson. Just shy of the 42, actually just past the 41. The Beet Diggers have trips to the right. 2nd down and 7. Uhrig awaits the snap. 3-step drop. Looks to throw underneath. The pass is incomplete, and Peterson, check that Wellen. No, it was Peterson. He was open, but Cade has had the issues this year overthrowing receivers. He's got such a strong arm, Dave. Sometimes it's too strong.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to complete passes when your receivers are wide open like that.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if Brush goes to the run here. On 3rd down and 7 at their own 41-yard line. Again, trips to the right. And it's unlikely they'll go to the run considering that it's a naked backfield. Urich is going to roll that way, throws it out to the left. Wide open, the pass is caught. It's a first down along the left sideline to Peterson at the 40-yard line. He's still going, and he's knocked down at about the 35. That's a big play for the Bead Diggers and Jaron Peterson. That's a gain of 24 to Bead Digger first down, and what a beautiful screen pass that the Bead Diggers set up on the left side of the field.
Yeah, they got everybody looking right. He threw it back left, and Urich just did a real nice job of just laying it in there nice and soft. Peterson was just standing there waiting for it.
Well, and the offensive line sold it well. Cade sold it well. Peterson kind of sold it well. And it all worked out. 1st and 10 for Brush. Under center is Urich at the 35, and we got a whistle. I think there was movement along the offensive line.
Flag on play.
Officials to discuss. And, oh no, it's going to be offsides. Yeah, offsides against Brush. I guess they were just, not a false start at all. They were just lined up offside. 1st and 15 from the 40. By the way, the first Bead Digger score of the game tonight, brought to you by
5-yard penalty.
MMI. Check that, Western Engineering Consultants, providing civil engineering services for aviation, municipal, commercial, and residential clients. That's Western Engineering Consultants. They sponsor the first Bead Digger score of the game, the 32-yard run by Jaron Peterson. 1st and 15 for the Bead Diggers at the 40-yard line. Cade Urich, play action, looking to throw underneath. The pass is caught, and there's a big seam along the right sideline. A first down for Nick Wellen. He's inside the 20. The ball is fumbled and picked up by Valley. And Valley, the man for Valley's got 2 to beat. Across the way at the 40-yard line, down to the 31. It was fumbled by Wellen at around the 16 and picked up by Valley. Holy mahungus. Wonder that was Brandon Damian. Well, give a gain of about, well, let's call it a gain of about 23 yards, and then the fumble returned the other way to the 30-yard line, mainly up the left sideline, so that return went for about 50-some-odd yards, Dave.
Yeah, that was a tough one. One of those things Welland's going to have to learn. When you're running down the field and there's nobody in front of you, you better protect the ball because somebody's going to come up behind you and knock it out.
1st and 10 for Valley off the Bead Digger turnover at the 30-yard line. Long return there by, I believe that was Damian. Once again, Brandon Damian. And Dave, just like that, things can change. We did have a flag down, I believe, or no? Let's see what's happening. They're going to walk off some yardage. It looks like it's against Valley. I wonder if it's unsportsmanlike conduct, as now about 3 or 4 of the Bead Diggers are meeting near midfield with one of the officials.
I've never seen a white cap come over and discuss things like this. Usually they stand out there and just announce it, but he's over here justifying it to their head coach.
Are they going to say that that Wellen was down, Dave?
I'm not sure what
The
call is.
Could Wellen have been down? Because that might be the possibility. No, actually, he wasn't down, so. And I don't know if he even stepped out of bounds. I thought it was in bounds and it was clean.
The coaches up here, Coach Quick said there was an inadvertent whistle. So the officials are apologizing.
So Valley has it at their own 20. That's what happened. The inadvertent whistle, that nullifies a return of 54 on the fumble by the Bead Diggers. That's a huge break for Brush with 4:05 to go in the opening quarter, leading 7-0. Dave, that changes everything.
Yeah, except for the fact we had the ball and we were about ready to score again.
Yeah, to make it 14-0. So it doesn't change everything, but it changes that. Because Valley would have been within 30 yards of extending the lead, or of tying the game, I should say. So 1st and 10 for Valley, now that they've reset the football. And I have no idea what's going on. Well, they
Yeah, the
discussed it.
officials are still talking out there.
I mean, well, first of all, there's like 15 bead diggers on the field, or about 12 or 13 at least. I think it might be brush ball. I think they're going to give it to Brush, Dave.
It looks like our offense is starting to huddle up like it would be a offensive play.
Well, I can tell you this. I had thought initially the play was dead, that his knee might have been down, but it was tough for me to see. I was looking right through this lens.
Yeah, goodness gracious. I can't tell what's going on. They're still talking about it out there.
Well, let me see what...
All right, we got your instant replay on your phone.
Well, I'm going to see. I don't know what I'm going to see, Dave. Here we go. And he definitely fumbled, and it was picked up at the 20. So that fumble was playing. The Brush offense should not be out there. As we could see that on my phone, that it was clearly a fumble, and it should be Valley ball at the very least at the 20. No way that Welland was down there. But let's see. The officials will make a decision. Dave, this is odd. I don't know what they're looking at. But if this is Brush ball, this is even a bigger break than was deserved. But I think you're right. The Brush offense is out there.
The Whitecaps over here talking to the Valley coach again, trying to justify their decision.
Well, I can tell you
that. A lot of conversation.
I do video some plays on my phone or with a camera, and I did it on my phone, and you could clearly see that Welland fumbled the ball. Your family's safety is the main concern at Smart Parts, so let the trained professionals install your new windshield. Give them a call, 522-5399. And serving area bean grower since 1921, Trinidad Benham. That's Trinidad Benham. Give them a call, 970-522-3595 for all your dry bean needs. And Dave, you got a long trip tomorrow, so you want this game to...
I'd like it to keep clicking. I'm going back up to Gunnison tomorrow, up to Western State to an old wrestling reunion, wrestling party.
Yeah, you don't want to leave from here if this game keeps going like this. At least, Dave, this is a shocker. I have no idea what happened out there.
You made the call. It looks like we're on offense.
Uh-oh. And now we've got a flag thrown. And this is the oddest thing. Unsportsman, oh no. It's a sideline warning against Valley. Dave, I'm telling you something, this game could get out of hand early because of a huge gaffe by the officials.
Yeah, the officials are going to have to wake up a little bit because we've seen some awkward situations. Even still, 4 officials out there in the middle of the field, and they can't get the game going.
You and I are the only ones right now with the luxury, because I videoed that play, of seeing the replay, and there's no debate.
No.
There's a clear fumble.
Yep.
And clear fumble. I mean, there's not even a debate. And, I mean, we call... Yeah, this is insane. The fact that Brush still has the ball, Dave, is insane. And, hey, we're obviously rooting for the bead diggers here, but it is 1st and 10 for Brush at the Valley 20. Under center is Cade Urich. He bobbled the ball, hands it off to Peterson. Now he got a whistle. And what happened there?
I don't know.
And this will be offsides. Are they calling offsides when it should be a false start?
I'm not sure. But the officials are definitely a different crowd. There's a lot of walking around out there and not a lot of hustle.
Well, they're not short officials, are they? Got 4 officials, no, 5?
They got 5 officials.
Yeah, they do have 5 officials. But how many are actually working? 1st and 15 for the bead diggers at the Valley 25-yard line. Bobbled it again. There's the pitch left to Peterson, swinging it to the outside, and he's down at about the 22. Looked like Trujillo is one of the Vikings in there on the play. The gain of 3 makes it 2nd down and 12 to go for the Valley 22. This will be the 7th play of the drive. But we've had a huge turnaround just based on an official's gaffe. Out of a shotgun is Urich. Man in motion to the right is Peterson. Urich, one-step drop over the middle, and that is incomplete. Intended for Ryan Dunker. It was well defended at the goal line. It'll be third down, and Reed Call is intent on still working on the passing game, even though he knows he could probably run it down their throats. But Coach Call realizes if this team is going to get better, Dave, they've got to be balanced because you've got a quarterback that can throw the ball.
Absolutely. He's got to get this offense clicking.
3rd and 12 at the Valley 22. Man in motion. Urich to throw. Deep up the right side. Peterson is well covered. It's incomplete as the ball nearly landed on the pylon. It'll be 4th down. The Bee Diggers will go for it. Now we got a flag along the far side.
Do have a flag on the play over here.
This game was pretty crisp until that one play, and now it's just been sloppy.
Yes.
And I'm not talking necessarily from the player standpoint. Ineligible man downfield against Brush. That's going to be declined, you would think. Making it 4th and 12 from the 22. 3:20 to go in the opening quarter. The Bee Diggers lead 7-0 over the Valley Vikings in Gilchrist, and a 32-yard run by Jaron Peterson. And the penalty has been declined, but the Bee Diggers will go for it. Although you know that J.R. Puga's got a leg. He's going to attempt the field goal, Dave.
I like his thinking. Like you said, they'll get the ball in the 20 if he doesn't make it.
Is he not going to attempt? He's out there. Yep, he's going to attempt the field goal from about 39 yards away. Waiting the snap. And the kick. What happened there? Did he just kick it into the line? Or? All right, the play is stopped. It should be Valley ball at the 20-yard line. What did you just see out there, Dave? It looked like he almost stopped when he went to kick it.
The official wasn't sure the kid could return the ball or not. They're placing the ball on the 22. I think there's some confusion on the official's part as far as what's legal and what's not.
Well, I think this is an American football game that we're witnessing, but I'm having my doubts now, Dave. 1st and 10 for Valley at their own 22. Yeah, Puga kind of like hesitated and kicked it into the line or something. I didn't see the whole kick.
I don't know the rule. I don't know why the ball's on the 22.
Yeah, it should be at the 20 if it's a missed field goal. 1st and 10 with the backs in an eye. Delgado's under center, and he drops the ball, and it's loose, and he lands on it at the 20. He's mishandled it at least 3 times in this game. It'll be 2nd down and 12. And we saw that Cade Urich had a couple of bobbles in Brush's most recent possession. There's no sign of moisture out here at all. We don't know if the ball's all greased up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The field's green. It's got some circles out there like that movie, The Signs. But other than that, it looks like a dry field.
2nd down and 12 to go for Valley at their own 20-yard line. What's looking like an extended first quarter. And Delgado back to throw to his left, wide open. It's caught at the 30-yard line. A seam up the left sideline to the 40, and then knocked out of bounds across the 50 to the 49. There is a flag at the 33-yard line. The receiver was, that's Josh Flanagan. Now let's see what the call is all about.
Well, Ben Brown got pushed in the back. First he got held a little bit, then he got shoved from behind, and this thing is going to go back, way back.
Well, but it's going to be from the spot of the foul, Dave. So it's going to be a gain. It'll be a gain of 15, and then the penalty, a 10-yard penalty. So essentially, it'll be a 2nd down and 7. So it's a net of 5 yards.
Second down. Ball placed at the 25.
Is the game getting hard for you to follow? Because it's getting tough for me.
Yeah.
There's no rhythm now.
No.
I mean, it looked pretty easy before, but not now. 2nd down and 7 for Valley at their own 25-yard line. Receivers split to the left and right. Under center, Delgado rolling to his right. Pressure coming, throws underneath. Pass is called by Flanagan, tackled by Peterson after a gain of a yard. Oh, that's an excellent play by Peterson. Now they're going to get him to the 27. 3rd down and 5 to go. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. The Bee Diggers are holding a 7-0 lead, and could have been more. They got a big break when a 50-yard fumble returned by Valley was nullified. I don't know why. Maybe the inadvertent whistle that was blown even before they spotted the ball on the ground. 3rd down and 5 from the 27. Under center is Delgado. He will hand it off. That's going to be a 1st down back up the middle to the 37-yard line. Nick Wellen makes the tackle. That was Gabriel Delgado getting it from Rafael Delgado. 1st and 10 from the 37. And Dave, what do we said after the last 2 weeks? Got to get off the field on 3rd down.
Yep, and we opened that right up to him. That was kind of had some crossbuck action. They got everybody on our team running left, and he cut it back to the right.
1st and 10 from the 37. Delgado hands it off. That's a stutter step there across the 40 to the 44. Let's see if that's the same back. Yeah, that's Gabriel Delgado from Raphael. A gain of 7. 2nd down and 3 to go for Valley at the 44. We're inside of a minute to go in the opening quarter.
Just running right at us, and they're having some success pushing our defensive linemen out of the way and shoving them backward where they're getting in the linebackers' way.
From the 44. 3 yards to go for Valley. 2nd down on their own side of the field. Delgado will hand it off to Delgado again. He's got a 1st down, and he carries defenders towards midfield. It's going to be a gain of about 6 for Gabriel Delgado.
Gain of 7 on that play.
Well, they'll give him the 49. Yeah, gain of 7. But anyway, the Vikings now running their 7th play of the drive. This might be the final play of the opening quarter with 24 seconds to go.
Nothing fancy either, just ISOs up the middle, controlling that defensive line of Brush. Their offensive linemen are getting position and taking some pictures.
In B Digger territory at the 49. On 1st down, Delgado rolling left, pressure coming backside, throws it up the left sideline, wide open, pass is caught at the 20-yard line and out of bounds. Wide open to Josiah Carrizales. It's a gain of 29. That's the end of the opening quarter. With the score, Brush 7, Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urig. Let's start the second quarter in Gilchrist. The Bee Diggers lead the Vikings 7-0. We just had a 29-yard connection from Rafael Delgado to Josiah Carrizales. 1st and 10 for Valley at the Bee Digger 20-yard line. There is the give on the right side, and that's Delgado across the 15. Breaks the tackle at the 10. He's going to score. An easy touchdown there for Gabriel Delgado from 20 yards away. And Valley is on the board. It's Brush 7, Valley 6.
He lowered his shoulder, just ran right over a couple of our players. And that head-to-head, our guys ended up on their rump. He just kept going.
Now the extra point to be attempted to even the game. Low snap, and the kick is up. That kick is good by Nash. 11:51 to go. We'll keep it right here. That was on the opening play of the second quarter. As Valley has tied the game at 7. But Dave, you hit the nail on the head. That was a case of just some questionable tackling by Brush.
Yeah, I think our guys were trying to tackle low, but he just lowered his shoulder, showed power, and kept driving his feet and put us on our bottoms. That's
all right,
a tough one.
Yeah.
11:50 left in the second quarter. Your Valley Vikings 7, Brush 7.
All right, now the Vikings to kick it off. See, the Bee Diggers can
Rodriguez on the kick.
reclaim the momentum here in the second quarter. Rush took it right down the field. Well, really not much down the field. They had the two-play drive. And now we got time called by Valley before a kickoff.
Valley just called it.
Well, we're 9 seconds into the second. This could take a while.
Yeah.
We've had some stoppages in play we did not anticipate, including a timeout before a kickoff. Well, that Valley drive went 78 yards. In 3 minutes and 21 seconds, they ran 8 plays. The big play, that 29-yard pass from Rafael Delgado to Josiah Carrizales. Back deep for the Bead Diggers are Adrian Lopez. And looks like Jaron Peterson out there as well. Line drive kick fielded by Peterson at the 10. Straight ahead to the 20, running to his left to the 25, and then he spun down across the 30. Close to the 31 as Carlos Rodriguez kicked it off for Valley. Hey, it looks like this is going to be a tight game all the way.
Yeah, we're going back and forth there. Let's see if Brush reestablishes their running game here and puts Valley back on their heels. After that official's missed call, it's just totally disrupted both teams, really.
Yeah, Brush's rhythm got thrown off. 1st and 10 at their own 32, and there's the give to Lopez running right. I see him across the 35 that he's in right there. It'll be 2nd down and about 6 before Lopez make it 7 before he was stacked up there by the left side of that Valley defensive line.
He runs with some shifty speed, that's for sure. Valley's got 5 guys up on the defensive line and what look to be 3 or 4 linebackers, but a real awkward defensive formation with everybody within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Nick Wellen is the lone setback to Urich's right. Peterson in motion to the left. Peterson's got it on the end around, swings it to the left side of the 40, and he's close to a 1st down, taken down at the 42. He's even with a stick. It's a gain of 7. Yeah, you got to give him the 1st down there, though. They might measure. If he doesn't have the 1st down, it's so close. And you got to measure, no?
Yeah, they're going to measure it.
It's very close. Got 10:55 to go. You're in the second quarter.
Oh, you just called it. Whitecap said, nope, it's a 1st down.
No, it's a 3rd down. See that over there, Dave? It's still marked 3rd down. Oh, now you're right. But why?
Yeah, he moved the chains.
Yeah, okay, you're right. But for some reason now it's his 1st down at the 42-yard line. Jaron Peterson is the D-back, 3 in the backfield. Urich hands it off to Peterson, running right to the 45, and then he bulls his way across the 45 to the 47. It's a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 to go. What about this day? The Bead Diggers in a no huddle. We haven't seen this.
Hey, they're just pounding the football at him. Valley, like I said, their defense is awkward. 5-2 with 2 linebackers stacked behind their 2 linebackers.
On 2nd and 5 for the 47. This will be a pitch right to Peterson. Swings it back to the outside of 1st down across the 50. And then he's tackled from behind at the 43. It's a gain of 10 for Jaron Peterson.
60 yards, 5 carries. He's already off to a great start. Like I said, they stack those 2 linebackers behind their linebackers, and then they still have their 2 corners, but their corners are basically playing straight across from our tight ends. Brush taking advantage of all those people in the middle of the field and bouncing it to the outside.
10 minutes to go, second quarter. Brush 7, Valley 7. The Bead Diggers have it 1st and 10 at the Valley 43. Cade Urich remains under center. Let's see if he can handle the ball. It looks like there's been issues. There's a handoff back to the middle to Lopez. He breaks a tackle. He's into the secondary, stumbling for big-time yardage, and a 1st down for Adrian Lopez. Now let's see where the football spotted. It looks like it's at the 27. It's a gain of 16.
Just some power and shiftiness, like we said before. Tough for Valley to bring him down. He was actually running left, and he cut it back to the right. Caught a lot of Valley Vikings over pursuing.
Yeah, there's definitely an issue, though, with the quarterback-center exchange or center-quarterback exchange at times. 1st and 10 for the 27. That's a clean exchange. Handoff to Wellen, running to his right, and then he's hit And there was some confusion there. Wellen was running one way, and Urick was handing off another, and he's drilled right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd down and 10, coming up the 7th play of the drive with under 9 minutes to go before the break.
Yeah, they run into each other. One of them thought it was an inside handoff, and the other one was thinking it was outside. Caused a train wreck.
Once again, Trent Mounts is out with an injury. Colin Cole remains out with a fractured foot. 2nd down and 10 for the Bee Diggers at the Valley 27. Trips to the left. And now Lopez in motion to the right. Empty backfield. 5-step drop for Urick. Throws it over the middle. The pass is caught underneath. And there's going to be some yardage for a first down, and the ball is fumbled. And Ryan Dunker caught it. Well, the Bee Diggers must have landed on it. And there is a flag down along the far sideline. He was down close to the first down marker, I think, at the 17, maybe the 15. It's a hold against Brush. It's coming back.
Man, that was a nice play.
Oh, it was set up very well. But now the football will be placed
Calls a block in the back against Brush.
at the 37, officially a block in the back. It'll be 2nd down and 20 for the Bee Diggers. Dave, you can still run out of this. And Brush has had lots of running room. You mentioned Peterson. It's already more than halfway to 100 yards in this game, and we still have 8.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
He's got a 12-yard average.
37-yard line.
2 plays will put him right back over by the first down marker.
Naked backfield again. Peterson in motion to the right. Urick, 2-step drop, wants to take off with the football. Got a seam up the middle. Then he's crushed at the 35. He stumbled. And he picked up 3 yards. I'll give him the 34. It'll be 3rd down and 17. The quarterback draw hasn't really worked that well this year.
This field's got to be slippery. There's
Yeah, I
something
think it
going
is.
on.
Yeah, it is. It's not, right, it's definitely not the ball because it just doesn't look dry or whatever term you want to use. 3rd down and 17 for the 34. Peterson in motion to the left, trips to the left. Back to throw is Urick, looking, heaving it up the left side. Peterson is out there, but it's overthrown, and it's thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, even if he would have caught it, he would have been out of bounds.
4th down and 17 to go for Brush at the 34. Well, Cade Urick is out there with a tee. Are you kidding me? Is Puka going to try from here?
Well,
51-yard field goal?
I've heard he can kick it from a long ways.
Well,
And like you've said before, even if he doesn't make it, they get the ball in the 20s. So
yeah.
might as well take a shot.
Well, let's see. 51-yard attempt. There's the snap. Hick is up. He boots that, but that's going to fall short, and it can be returned. It can be returned. The Bee Diggers got to play this. It is being returned up the right sideline. I believe that could be Delgado, and he is across the 30. All the way to about the 40-yard line, maybe more than that, Dave. So it was Tyler Nash instead.
42-yard line, 1st and 10 Valley.
So that turned out very well for Valley. Yeah, if that field goal had been for about 40 yards, I think he nails it.
Yeah, they said he's been kicking them through during practice.
Valley has it at their own 37-yard line. Well, at least the Bee Diggers are playing a competitive first half, which hasn't happened in a while. 1st and 10 for Valley. Rafael Delgado under center. Going to hand it off and back up the middle. There's a hole across the 40 to the 41. That's Nash. And he's swallowed up there by a couple of Bee Diggers. And
Tyler Nash on the carry.
getting up off the bottom of the pile slowly is Ryan Dunker.
2nd down and 7.
It's a gain of 5 to the 42. 2nd and 5 to go.
That's Nash's second carry. He had a -5 and a +5, so he's breaking even.
Bee Diggers had a big opportunity to go up by 2 scores, and now Valley feels like they're gaining a little bit of control. From the 42, 2nd and 5, handoff back up the middle. Nash is going to be stuffed after half a yard. In fact, he's not even going down. Guzman and Tan right there to make the hit. 3rd and 5, no gain.
I'll tell you what, Dunker
No gain on the play.
flew up there last time and made a big hit, and he might have took the worst of it because he got up a little slow. That time, he just laid his ears back and ran in there and made first contact again. So kudos to him for playing so physical against a strong kid like Nash.
Third down, they'll give him half a yard and a long 4 at the 43-yard line. Backs remain in an eye. Receivers put left and right. There's the give up the middle and maybe a couple of yards. I think that's Nash again. Stumbling, nope.
Josh Flanagan.
That's Flanagan, a gain of 2 to the 45. It'll be 4th down and 2. Looks like Valley's sending in the punt team.
2 on the carry brings up 4th.
Nobody really knew where the ball was. You know, Delgado did a good job of putting it in his belly and acting like he still had it when he came out of there.
We've got to watch out for a fake here, Dave. 4th and 2 from the 45.
Or a long count.
Yeah. Low snap, and the punt's going to go off. A beautiful punt towards Peterson, who's got it, and he bobbles the ball at the 15, picks it up at the 11, breaks out of a tackle along the right side of the 15. Peterson with a seam up the right sideline, then goes out of bounds as he's tackled there. There's a late hit. I think Peterson was tackled out of bounds. That might give the B-Diggers field position just shy of the 40-yard line. He was tackled at the 23.
Yeah, he did a good job of just catching that ball after he dropped it. He turned it back over to the right, running towards the B-Diggers sidelines, and he ran away from people, showed some speed, and he was actually able to make the corner, but looked like he was 2 or 3 yards out of bounds when that kid put the shoulder on him.
Well, let's see what the call is. This might be against Brush. It is. Block in the back. Well, the B-Diggers are going to be backed up inside their 10 probably, or at least their 15. That will be at the 16.
I hope that wasn't called on the first blocker that we had down there, because it was a clean block that I looked at.
Placing the 16-yard line brings up first.
That was one of the only blocks I saw on the play.
1st and 10 for Brush at their own 16-yard line. There is the pitch left to Peterson, looking to swing it to the outside. Got the 20-yard line, and then he spun down, but not before he gains close to 9 yards in the play at the 25. Trujillo made the tackle, 2nd down, and 1 to go for the B-Diggers. Now we have a stoppage. Is that a Valley timeout? It is. We'll take it with them. 4:58 to go, 2nd quarter. In Gilchrist, Brush 7, Valley 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The B-Diggers have 2nd, 1st down, and he backs his way towards the 30. Almost pushed forward. Gain of 5 for Peterson. And Dave, up to 74 yards for the senior.
Yeah,
so he's over 500, well over 500 for the season.
Yeah, but we've, like you said, this offensive line and Peterson, they've done a good job running the football this year. Brush has been hard to stop.
1st and 10 for the B-Diggers at the 30-yard line. There's to give to Peterson on the counter, running left. He's got very little. A yard to the 31 as Delgado made the hit. 2nd down and 9, and they've had success this year running off left tackle and running to the left side, but not on that play.
Yeah, Johnny Cyprian did a good job though, pulling from his guard position. He ran all the way over here and kicked that defensive end out just like he was supposed to.
2nd down and 9 for Brush at their own 31-yard line. Trips to the right. And a shotgun is Cade Urich. He's going to roll to his right, sets up, throws underneath. Pass is called by Peterson. 1st down along the sideline to the 40. And he's taken down at the 43. That's a gain of 12 on the pass from Urich to Peterson.
Peterson is doing it all, man. 36 yards now receiving. Catch for 24 yards and another one there for 12.
What do you think, Dave? Marshall Faulk? I love watching Marshall Faulk in that era. So good out of the backfield. 1st and 10 at the 43. Man in motion, Jade Queen. Hand off to Lopez up the middle of the 45. And he's down at the 49 of Valley, but there's a flag that's going to go against the B-Diggers.
Yep, thrown right back there after the play. Looks like a hold.
Yeah, the gain of 7, or 8, I should say, is for naught. Yep, a hold against Brush.
Yeah, their interior guy, one of our inside guys had a hold of him around the leg.
Bead Diggers do receive the second half kickoff, so if you can somehow come away with a touchdown, you've got some momentum going into the second half. But, man, that's a big penalty there. At the 34, it was 1 yard beyond the line of scrimmage, so it's 1st and 19 for the Bead Diggers at their own 34-yard line.
1st and 18.
Peterson is to Urick's right on first down. Urick looking to throw up the sideline. The pass incomplete. I don't know what was going on there because the receiver for Brush wasn't even really turned around. I think that was Jordan Taylor, but he was looking the other way.
Yeah, I wasn't looking to the ball, that's for sure. Urick threw it right over the top of his running back there that was blocking for him.
2nd down and 19 to go for Brush at the 34-yard line. 3:15 to go, second quarter. And the game is tied at 7 from Gilchrist. Urick under center. Peterson the deep back. And there's a draw to Peterson. A big hole up the middle to the 40-yard line, but he's down right there. It'll be a gain of 6. 3rd down and about 13 to go.
That's got him up to 81 yards now on 9 carries. Just a real good average for Peterson tonight. Great job of blocking there by that offensive line.
I still sense he's going to break a huge one in this game. I've been sensing it, well, really since that 32-yard touchdown, especially the hole that he had. 3rd and 13 for the 40. Urick is going to roll to his left, setting up, throwing up the left side. That's way incomplete, not close. Jade Queen was well defended. Bead Digger receivers have not been able to get open in this game either.
Brings up 4th down.
And Brush will have to punt on 4th and 13 with 2.5 to go.
Yeah, it's difficult, you know. There's times when the receivers are open and the ball's not there, and then other times, you know, it's like you said, Urick doesn't have anybody to throw to that's wide open. Seems like they're having better luck throwing to a guy when he's not moving.
Abadka to punt, standing at his own 28-yard line, and Valley jumped. But it's not going to be close to a first down.
The ball was snapped 10 yards over our punter's head. Luckily, the play was blown.
Well, now let's see if a Bead Digger actually moved. But I thought Valley jumped first, and they did.
Albarca had to run back to the 5-yard line to get the ball.
Defense jumped offline, 5-yard penalty.
Well, it'll be 4th down and about a long 7 at the 45. Got to get a good snap. This is their 3rd snapper, by the way. Their number 3 snapper. Colin Cole being the number 1. That's a low snap, and it bounces in between Abadka's legs. He's going to have to pick it up at the 15-yard line, and he's going to be hit at the 14. Abadka needed to field a ground ball, essentially, and he couldn't do it. And Valley's got incredible field position at the Brush 14. With 2:27 to go before the break, looking for their first lead of the game.
But he lose 32 yards on that? That was a huge loss.
Yep.
Especially bad because we just snapped it over his head. This time we snap it under his legs.
1st and 10 for Valley at the Bead Digger 14-yard line. Delgado will hand it off to Trujillo right up the gut, and he lunges to the 10. It'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 7, a gain of about 3. The ball was closer to the 13.5-yard line. Isaac Morales made the hit for Brush. Valley has 1 timeout remaining, but they've only got 10 yards that they need to get into the end zone. Man in motion to the left. Handoff, Trujillo off right tackle inside the 5, and he's got a 1st and goal at the 1. It's a gain of 9. Nick Wellen made the hit for Brush.
He's got 38 yards on 9 carries.
After dragging 2 Bead Diggers along with him.
Runs with a lot of power. The kids couldn't bring him down. He kind of carried him another 5 yards.
Well, Valley about to take the lead here. Should be a simple give. Big second week in a row, the Bee Diggers have had that happen on a punt with the snap. First and goal at the 1. Hand off to, no, this will be an option right, and keeping the ball. A touchdown on the bootleg is the quarterback Delgado. Really not an option, just a straight bootleg. And it's 13-7 Valley.
Yeah, just a naked bootleg. Everybody fell for it. Defensive end on this side didn't really stay in good enough position to turn him back in. He allowed Delgado to get to the corner on him.
Now the extra point to be attempted, blocked. That is blocked, and I think that Morales got in there to block the Nash kick. 1:22 to go, second quarter. Valley 13. And the Bee Diggers 7 on 1010 KSOR and KSOR.com. Off a Bee Digger special teams mistake, the Vikings have reclaimed the lead, or actually taken the lead for the first time. With 1:22 to go, 1 yard run by Rafael Delgado. And it's 13-7. Bee Diggers did block the extra point. Hopefully that'll benefit Brush a little bit later in the game. Rodriguez to kick it off. The left-footed kicker. A line drive headed towards Lopez at the 15, to the 25-yard line, to his right to the 30. And then he's going to be taken down at the 33. It's a return of 18 yards. Dave, you got 3 timeouts. I think you go for it here.
Oh, absolutely. They need to use every minute they can every second they can to score. We definitely don't want to take a knee.
1:14 to go. They'll have it at the 34.
Question is, do you keep trying to throw the football or try to settle into some sort of a passing scheme that's effective? So we're sure having a hard time, hitting open receivers down the field.
They can't throw it down the field. It's got to be underneath. It's just too tough. Trips to the left, naked backfield. Peterson in motion to the right. Urick, one-step drop, throws it out to the right, incomplete. That was intended for Dunker towards the middle there at the 50-yard line. Yeah, they're working the passing game, Dave, but it's just not there.
No, we're 3 for 11 for 59 yards. Still more yards than we're used to in Brush throwing the ball, with. But we're definitely not going to be able to set our stakes on that.
Second down and 10 at the 34. The pitch right to Peterson. Does he have a seam to the outside? He does to the 40. Tries to break out of a tackle. Does not. He's down at the 42, maybe the 43. Timeout Brush. Let's see where they spot it. Timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. 842-4555. It's a gain of 9. Third down and 1. The timeout with 58.9 seconds to go. Rush got a really good shot here to do something right before halftime.
You betcha. Don't forget, Peterson, second play of the game, ran for 32 yards right up the middle. So you got to believe Valley's thinking, watch the pass, tell them those corners and safeties, don't let anybody get behind you. They've been stacking everybody up there within 5 to 7 yards of the line of scrimmage, so they're going to relax some of those people, and that can help open up that running game and that nice little screen that they threw earlier.
Yeah, that was one of their biggest plays in the game. That went for about 20-some-odd yards. Rush will have it 3rd and 1 on their own side of the field at the 43. And, Dave, we know one thing. The temperature is dropping.
Yep, I can feel it heading down my neck. I'm glad I brought my stocking cap.
3rd down and 1. And a shotgun is Urick. Peterson to his left, so Peterson might get the ball, and he does, running right. He's hit after a yard. It looked like he did get the first down. A helmet goes flying. It is a first down for Peterson, but, man, he didn't have much there. We'll give him a yard and a half, couple of yards maybe, to the 45. Now you got to get up to the line of scrimmage. Clock stops for the movement of the chains, the resetting of the chains.
with that carry.
51 seconds to go. 1st and 10 for Brush at the 45. Cade Urich is going to roll to his left. Got plenty of protection. Heaves it up the left side. Out there is Queen, and looked like he was interfered with. Incomplete. Man, that ball was descending, and he took some contact, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that time, that was a nice pass. Right out there where you need it to be, but give Valley credit. They had some good coverage. They were covering him underneath and behind.
Yeah, they're playing well in the secondary. 2nd down and 10, where the ball just passed the Beet Digger 44. 40.1 seconds to go before halftime. Peterson in motion to the right, naked backfield. Urich to throw, pressure backside, up the right side, and that's going to be incomplete. And Peterson looking for a flag maybe, but it's out of bounds anyway. It'll be 3rd down. I mean, the one thing with the passing game, Dave, they're going for the home run so much. I mean, eventually you'll get a home run, but in the process, you're just can't make the plays. It's 3rd down.
Well, that might open up some of the short passes.
Notice the way they're spotting the ball. It was at the 44 in the previous play. Now it's at the 45. I don't know what's going on here. 3rd down and 10. Trips to the left. One setback. Urich, 5-step drop. Screen over the middle. Caught by Peterson at the 45. He's at the 50. He's got a 1st down. Up the right side. He's loose. And he's going to be tackled inside the 40. 24.1 seconds to go to the 35. And it's a gain of 20 on the pass from Urich to Peterson. And the Beet Diggers call their 2nd timeout, brought to you by Greg Malta State Farm Insurance.
So that screen's working real nice for him. Peterson's got 3 catches for 56 yards. That takes Cade Urich up to 79 yards on 14 attempts and 4 completions.
Well, they've only got, what do you think, 3 plays max because you got 1 timeout to work with.
Yeah, you're going to have to throw it a couple of times in there too.
Do they go for the home run? That's the thing.
They can run the football, but they got to run it towards the sideline. That way they can get out of bounds.
And the colder it gets, the harder it is to attempt a field goal.
Yep, that ball feel like a rock. You know, it doesn't fly as well.
1st and 10 for Brush. At the 35 of Valley. Trips to the left. Again, empty backfield. Urich looking to throw. Over the middle. The pass is caught. No, it's stripped away and dropped. Oh, that's a great throw there. Was that Queen on the... Nope. There were 2 Beet Diggers there. I'm looking at the Beet Digger. I just can't spot his number there. Yeah, Ryan Dunker. Okay.
Seconds left remaining in the half.
Yeah, it hit him right on the numbers. That was probably the best ball we've seen Cade throw.
Beautiful throw, but Dunker had it knocked away at the last second after almost having it secured. 19.3 seconds to go.
I've seen Wes Welker take hits like that over the middle.
Peterson right now is on the sideline. Jade Queen is the lone receiver. And, oh boy, the Beet Diggers had to use their final timeout, even though the clock was already stopped. But you have no option when there's some confusion out there. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the 35. Brush trails by 6 with 19.3 seconds to go before halftime.
Now remember, if we just get 10 more yards, I think we're within Puga's field goal range.
Yeah,
it could be
definitely
doable. And we're on the right hash mark, so that's a good angle for him.
Well, then, I mean, there's an option to run the ball, because if you run the ball, then you can down it. Or, obviously, if you pass for a 1st down, the clock stops, then you spike it at that point. 2nd down and 10 for Brush. Jordan Taylor is one of those 3 receivers to the left. The outside receiver is Ben Brown. Let's see what the Beet Diggers decide to do here. 2 receivers to the right. Urich out of the gun. 3-step drop. deep over the middle, incomplete. I mean, there's just no hope out there. Lopez was so well covered.
And the ball was about 5 yards over his head. There's just nothing right on that play.
Yep. 13 and a half seconds to go. That was it says 4th and 10 on the board, but I believe it is now 3rd and 10. That's what it says on the sideline. 3rd and 10 at the 35. Maybe a sideline pattern here, I don't know. Peterson is in there now as the lone setback. 3rd and 10 for the Valley 35. Awaiting the snap and a shotgun is Urich.
15 in shotgun.
Has the football, rolls to his left. He's got plenty of time, throws towards the sideline, passes complete to Taylor, and he's out of bounds. Short of a first down, but he gets to about the 28 maybe. Along the near sideline, it's a gain of 7.
Pass completed. 8 yards.
4th down and 3. 6.7 seconds to go, so you can forget about the field goal. Dave, I think you just put it up here for grabs. Just put it up for grabs and see if you can somehow get some sort of deflection and catch it.
They snuck Dunker out there and had him line up on their sideline early, hoping Valley wouldn't see him. But they got a corner over there.
Yep, 4th and 3 from the 28. Plenty of protection. Urich throws it deep up the right side. Pass is going to be caught. That's going to be a first down. But the time has run out. That was Peterson. And he caught it at about the 12-yard line. So it's a gain. Wow, that's a big gainer out there for, well, only about 15 yards, Dave, because he threw it so laterally. But that's the end of the first half with the score. Valley 13, Brush 7 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Let's begin the second half with the Bee Diggers trailing the Valley Vikings by a score of 13-7. John Beltran back with Dave Urich in Gilchrist. And Dave, let's see the Bee Diggers can do exactly what they did when they got the ball the first time, which is score. No reason to think they can't do it now, but they got to be consistent in this game, and they haven't been.
Well, they got to get that confidence back, like we were saying during halftime. Here they are. They're kind of going right after Valley. And then they end up with a fumble. They still get the ball back, but they lose their confidence. It's like they lost their whole rhythm and everything. And so they got to get that strength and get that grit and get up, dust themselves off, and get after them a little bit.
Carlos Rodriguez to kick it off for Valley. The left-footed kicker boots that football. Line drive headed towards Lopez at the 15. Drops it, picks it up at the 16. Running straight ahead to the 25. A seam to the 30. And he's down at the 33. Tackle from behind. And the tackle was made. Well, didn't have that uniform number. Either way, the Bee Diggers have it 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line after the return of 17 by Adrian Lopez.
Brush comes out, lines up in that power right off the bat. 2 tight ends, power eye back there.
Under center, 1st and 10 at the 33. Give to Peterson, running right across the 35. Got some good yardage to the 38. It's a gain of 5. 2nd down and 8 to go for the Bee Diggers, and Peterson's getting that much closer to 100 in this game.
Yep, 95 yards on 12 carries. Ran right on that, right behind his 2 running back blockers.
Left side of that Valley defensive line there to make the play. Second down and 5 to go for Brush. And there's the give on the right side. No, that's the quarterback keeper there. And Urich is right at the stick. A gain of 5 to the 48. Should be a first down.
Yeah, sort of that Air Force look where the quarterback kind of acts like he's going to hand it off, then actually follows his running backs up the hole.
1st and 10 for Brush at the 48-yard line. Trailing 13-7 early in the third, Dave.
I was just going to say, I saw J.R. Puga downfield blocking on that play.
There's the pitch right to Peterson. Swings it to the right side across the 50. and knocked out of bounds in Valley territory. Along the far side at the 49, it's a gain of 3 for Jaron Peterson. Second down and 7 to go for Brush.
And again, seeing some offensive linemen getting upfield, sustaining blocks.
Just casually move the ball down the field. They're in no hurry. 7 yards to go, second down. And actually, the Bee Diggers on their own side of the field. Let me correct that. They're at their own 46. There is a play action. Setting up, throwing deep up the left side. Queen is out there. He has dropped the ball. Holy mahungus at the 18-yard line. There was coverage out there, but it looked like it went through his hands, and that was a perfect pass from Cade Urich to Jade Queen.
It was. He had his arms out there, palms up, and it looked like the ball just went right in between him and hit the turf.
Yeah, that was an excellent throw. That's the best throw Cade Urich's had all year, and yet it was incomplete because of the drop. Third down and 7 to go for the Bee Diggers at their own 46-yard line. Trips to the left. Urich out of the gun. In motion to the right is Queen. Handoff, Peterson, right side, back to the middle. He is close to the first down, just short. He's into Valley territory this time at the 48. It's a gain of 6. It'll be 4th down and 1. Got to go for it here, Dave.
Yep, they absolutely have to go for it. But you know what? They can do it. They've shown that they can run the football, even though Valley's got a lot of strength. You saw right there where Peterson had all the momentum, he had all the speed, but the Valley Viking was able to stand him up in his spot and actually shove him backwards.
Welland, Lopez, and Peterson in the backfield. 4th and 1. The Bee Diggers have the ball at the Valley 48-yard line. Critical play early in the third. Handoff, Peterson left side, and I don't know. Did he have enough? I think he did, though. He was hit at the 47. They're going to give him a pretty good spot, Dave. A gain of, wow, to the 45. I guess I didn't see him gain that much yardage, but it's a first down for Peterson.
Yeah, they ended up giving him almost 3 yards. But, I saw the same thing as you. He hit the hole, but again, Valley shows so much strength and power. When they met him, they shoved him backwards quick.
Under center is Urich. 1st and 10 for the 45. Handoff on the counter to Lopez, running right to the 40-yard line. Then he's hit right there around the ankles. Gain of 5 for Lopez. 2nd down and 5. The Bee Diggers have run 7 plays and 6 of them on the ground.
Yep, Lopez to 25 yards now on 3 carries. He's just so shifty and strong. Got some good blocking there from that offensive line again, also from Welland as he was lead blocking.
2nd down and 5 to go for the Bee Diggers at the Valley 40-yard line. Again, under center this time is Urich. Handoff, Welland running right, and he dives to about the 37. Let's see if they'll give him the 37. The football being spotted right there, close to 3 yards. 3rd down and a long 2 to go for Brush.
Little payback for that good blocking he's had. Some of those ISO plays.
Yep, 4 down territory again. The Bee Diggers have held the football now for over 3 minutes.
Ball on 38-yard line brings up 3rd down.
3rd down and a long 2 from the 37. Handoff, Peterson close to a first down at the 35. I think he's got it. Looks like he got the 2 yards he needed. That'll keep the sticks moving for Brush.
First down, Brush.
9 plays in a drive. Dave, this could be a drive they could eat up half the quarter.
Their defense shown they can hold them. They have that 1 touchdown because of the short field position that we gave them. Diggers just need to get that confidence and build that mental strength.
1st and 10 for Brush at the Valley 35-yard line. Peterson repositioned. He gets the pitch left. Can he find a seam to the outside? He could not. He is drilled at the 37. Loss of a couple. Dante Bond, a junior, 5'10", 190, made the hit. It'll be 2nd down and 12 to go for the Bee Diggers.
Yeah, they stretched that thing all the way to the sideline, and he didn't have any choice but to try to stop and turn it up, and that's where Bond met him.
Well, I don't think it's an automatic passing situation, Dave. And in fact, looks like they're going double tight there. Oh, no, they're not. No, now it's a spread. So 2nd down and 12 from the 37. Inside handoff to Lopez, but he's stuck right at the line of scrimmage. He had nothing there. He was swallowed up by Flanagan and others. 3rd down and 12. It's no gain.
You talk about form tackling. Valley meets them. They put their shoulder pad in our hip, and they keep driving their feet. They don't just stop their feet and try to drag you down right there. They try to shove you backwards.
3rd and 12 from the 37 of Valley. The drive began for the Bead Diggers at their own 33. Trips to the right. Cade Urich is going to roll that way. Sets up, throws along the sideline, and the pass is going to be, is it caught? I think it is by a diving Ben Brown. Well, that's an excellent reception.
And a good pass. Credit Urich for getting it out there where he could catch it. He had to throw it to the outside because the coverage was towards the middle of the field.
It's a gain of 8. 4th down and 4 from the 29.
That takes us up to 109 yards passing. Completed 7 out of 20.
Oh, here we go. 4th and 4 from the 29.
It's kind of been the tale of the year, these kind of situations.
Let's see if the Bead Diggers can convert. Out of the gun is Urich. Urich will hand it off to Peterson. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. There was no hole for Peterson to run through. And the Bead Diggers have turned it over on downs, although they did get it to the 29-yard line, so Valley's not in good field position as they start their first drive here in the second half with 6:12 to go.
It's a real nice drive, though, for Brush. It's got to give them a lot of confidence in their running game, also in their passing game.
1st and 10 for Valley at their own 29. Now you got to stop Valley. If not, you got to start throwing the ball if you get down by 2 scores. The quarterback is Rafael Delgado. On 1st and 10 from the 29. There's the give right side. I think that's the other Delgado across the 30. Let's see if that's him or Nash. No, that's Nash. Tylen Nash. For a gain of a couple, Riggs stand out there with some Bead Diggers. They'll give him 3 to the 32. 2nd down and 7 to go. Under 6 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. Valley leads Brush 13-7. From the 32. On 2nd down and 7. Man in motion to the left. There's another handoff right up the middle. That's a gain of 3. That's Nash again. Andrew Guzman made the tackle around the ankles. 3rd and 4 for the Valley Vikings.
Nash only has 6 yards on 5 carries. That's because his first carry was for -5.
5-yard line, the Vikings brings up 3rd down and 3.
Brush Grocery Cart has everything you need on Edison Street in Brush. We talk about them every broadcast. Brush Grocery Cart. 3rd down and about 4 to go. There's a give, and a flag is down, and driving towards the 1st down marker is Nash, but I think that might be a motion penalty against Valley, and it is. And it's going to be against Nash himself.
Yeah, he was leaning forward expecting the ball. Got caught.
Well, from 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9 for the Valley Vikings.
5-yard penalty.
Groceries, fresh cut meat and deli items, Floral Pharmacy, Western Union, public service payments, 24-hour gas. That's Brush Grocery Cart. 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. Now it's a 3rd and 9 at their own 30. Can the Bead Diggers get off the field on 3rd down? Play action, looking, throwing underneath. The pass is going to be caught along the left side to the 35. And close to a 1st down is Flanagan, a late flag. Very late flag. I think he got the 1st down at the 39. What do you see there, Dave?
I don't know. I think we're going to have a block in the back.
Yeah, I don't think it's against Brush. Yep, it is against Valley. And it might have been near the end of the play.
Yeah, they had one blocker out there. We had 2 guys, and right when our guy turned to make the play, yeah, I think he kind of got us from behind.
Yeah, it was on the pass to Flanagan. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Well, Dave, give him 9 yards on the pass, and then it's a 10-yard penalty. So now it's 3rd down and 10 for the 29. Down to 4:39 to go in a quick-moving 3rd quarter. Valley leads 13-7. The Bead Diggers had 1 possession in this quarter. on 3rd down and 10. Under center this time is Delgado. Is he going to throw with a man in motion to the right? Looking to throw out in the right flat. Pass is caught, and for virtually nothing, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, Adrian Lopez was there with others to make the play on Nash. Diggers had excellent penetration. Also Morales around the football. It'll be 4th down and 10 for Valley. Nice defense.
Really nice defense. They cleared that backfield. Brush had the corners and another linebacker out here to help cover it. They took on the blockers. They were able to fly up in there and hit him in the feet so he didn't get upfield. That was a play they had trouble with last week.
Valley now to punt. There's a low snap. The ball is loose, and the Beat Diggers make the play. They're going to tackle the punter back inside the 20 to the 19, and I think that's Nash as well, who's the punter. And now the Beat Diggers are going to benefit from the same mistake that they made late in the second quarter and have great field position.
Yeah, the ball just got snapped right in between Nash's feet. He just couldn't pick it up. Felt the pressure once he got it. Started taking off running, but too many Diggers around him.
Well, now you got to convert. 1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at the Valley 19. Doesn't get much better than this for Brush. On 1st and 10. There's the give left side to Peterson. Back up the middle to the 10 to the 5. He dives. Is he in? And I think he's down at the 1 for Jaron Peterson. It's a gain of 18. 1st and goal for Brush.
128 yards now for Peterson. Brush lined up in that unbalanced left formation. You saw Valley still had their 5 defensive linemen. They tried to accommodate it or try to match up against it, but they couldn't. They left that big hole right in the middle.
On 1st and goal. And is that a quarterback sneak? It is. And it's a touchdown for Cade Urich. And the game is tied at 13.
How big is this kick now?
Yep. It is huge.
Valley 13, Brush 13.
And they're going to kick it. They got the black pads out there, and Cade Urich's preparing to put the ball down for Puga.
To attempt the extra point. There's the snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Beat Diggers have the lead. Brush 14, Valley 13 with 3:25 to go in the third on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beat Diggers take advantage of a special teams mistake, and they're able to score. 1 yard sneak there by quarterback Cade Urich. And with 3:25 left to go in the third, Brush has a 14-13 lead. Well, now you got to play defense. I mean, that goes without saying.
We need to keep them behind the 35 or 40 on this kickoff.
That football is booted towards the sideline, and Trujillo tries to field it, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 10. Unless he touched the ball, but I don't think he did. I think he was going for it, and he did not put his fingers on the football.
Kicked out of bounds.
Still, I think we'll take it. They get the ball on the 35. That's better than what usually happens.
All right, so Valley will have it 1st and 10 from there.
Ball will be placed on the 35-yard line, Vikings. 1st and 10, Valley.
Well, defense can win games. Let's see the Beat Diggers step up to the challenge. 1st and 10 for Valley. At their own 35-yard line. Under center, Delgado, handoff, Trujillo running left side. He's got a yard, maybe 2. As the hit was made. Kenny Stegner in on the hit at the 38. They're going to give him 3. Wow, he must have lunged across for an extra half-yarder or a yard per se.
Stegner is a big wall to run into. He did a good job of wrapping him up there.
2nd down and 7. Valley at their own 38-yard line. 2 receivers out to the left. Delgado hands it off to Trujillo, running back to the middle. He's down at the 41. Peterson had penetration, and it was cleaned up on the back end there
Brings up 3rd down 4.
by Riggs 10. 3rd and 4 after the second straight gain of 3 by Trujillo.
Having some luck running the ball right up the middle that time. I saw a defensive lineman get shoved backwards. They got right in the way of our linebackers trying to make the tackle.
3rd down and 4 yards to go for Valley at their own 41-yard line. 2:20 to go in the third. The Beet Diggers lead by a point. Looks like the Beet Diggers coming on a blitz. The pitch left to Trujillo's got running room to the outside. First down across the 45 to the 50. A gain of close to 9, and the Valley drive continues.
Yeah, 7 on the play.
That takes him to 47 yards on 10 carries. He just has a lot of speed. Brush was expecting him to run it up the middle since they were having luck there anyway. Went with that quick pitch and caught us off guard.
The ball at the 49, 1st and 10 for Valley. Haven't really tried to throw the ball in this quarter. Baxton and I. Another give right up the gut. Decent gain across the 50 to the 48. I think that might be Nash this time. Nope, it's Trujillo again.
Trujillo on the carry.
Trujillo gains 4. 2nd down and 6 to go for Valley.
2nd down and 7.
That defensive line of Brush is really going to have to hunker down. And if they can't control those offensive linemen, we're going to have to drop and make some piles. Because that time again, we were on roller skates.
Ben Brown limps off the field. Ray Cordova checks in. 2nd down and 6 for Valley at the Brush 47. Delgado, play action, rolling right, throws underneath, open. It's caught by Flanagan up the right side, and he's knocked out of bounds by Lopez at the 37. It's a gain of 10 and a Valley first down. They're looking to reclaim the advantage in this one.
35 yards now for Flanagan on 4 receptions. Delgado's got 80 yards now.
1st and 10 for Valley at the Brush 37-yard line. The Beet Diggers got to come up with a turnover here. They haven't had one in this game. Trujillo the deep back. The ball is loose, and they fall on it at the 40. Trujillo landed on it. Again, a problem with the exchange from center to quarterback. 2nd down and 13.
It's just crazy. That's happened so much tonight.
But it hasn't happened much in the third quarter, Dave. It happened a lot in the first half.
Right. You know, the Diggers were bringing pressure again. That could have had something to do with it.
AC Ice proudly supports local high school sports throughout Northeast Colorado at any local grocery or convenience store near you. 2nd and 13 from the Brush 40. There's the give to Trujillo right up the gut, and he dives to the 35 for a gain of 5. That'll set up a 3rd down and 8 to go for Valley.
52 yards on 13 carries for Trujillo. Brush doing a pretty good job of controlling him. But again, here we go on this big 3rd down conversion.
Well, they're not going to get it off. We have played 3 quarters in Gilchrist. The score: Brush 14, Valley 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the fourth quarter. John Beltran and Dave Jurgen, Gilchrist. The Beet Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 14-13, but Valley's got a 3rd down and 8 to go at the Brush 35-yard line. Trips to the left. Aaron Trujillo's the lone setback. Under center is Rafael Delgado. Pitch left to Trujillo. Swings it to the outside to the 30-yard line. First down along the left sideline to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown. I think the Beet Diggers wanted a holding penalty or block in the back. It didn't happen.
Yeah, our corner out here wanted the hold, but you know what happened? That Valley kid engaged in that stock block, just kept driving him backwards, and our kid just allowed it to happen.
That completes a 3-minute, 35-second drive. Valley has reclaimed the lead at 19-14, and they're going to go for 2.
77 yards for Trujillo.
That's the 2nd time in the game. Now we've had a touchdown on the first play of a quarter. So here we go. 2-point conversion. Under center, Delgado rolls to his right, still rolling, throwing into the end zone. It's caught. Not sure who caught it in the back of the end zone, but it is caught. And Valley now leads 21-14.
Yeah, Diggers have to realize, when a kid comes up and blocks you or they engage with you, you can't expect them to be nice and just let you go. They're going to finish the play and give Valley credit maintaining those blocks for such an extended period of time. A lot of times you see a kid make a block and they'll bump into you and just let them bounce off, but they didn't that time. That kid blocked for a good 2 or 3 seconds.
Now the Beet Diggers have to answer. After the 8-play, 65-yard drive in less than 3.5 minutes, Aaron Trujillo scored from 35 yards out, and he did it on a 3rd down.
The dreaded 3rd down.
Just killed Brush this year. Been a killer. Now the Vikings and Carlos Rodriguez to kick it off. Follow us on Twitter at KSIR Sports. 10 seconds into the 4th quarter.
11:50 remaining in the game. The Vikings take the lead.
Valley has the lead.
Carlos Rodriguez on the kick.
Rodriguez now kicks it with his right foot. He's been a lefty before. Fielded and dropped by Lopez at the 15, running up the left side, and he's down across the 25, maybe to the 26. Brush goes to work. Dave, it'd be interesting what plays the Beet Diggers decide to run, because we know they can run the football, and there's still plenty of time.
Ball returned to the 27-yard line.
Yep, I think they just got to stick with what's working, And thing is, that last drive we showed we could throw the football. So, I think it's really just in their hands now to see how well they're going to execute.
1st and 10 for the Beet Diggers at a 27. The pitch to Peterson, running left across the 30, and then he's tackled at the 31. Hard running there for Jaron Peterson.
Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5, Brush.
And it's a gain of 5 to the 32, 2nd down and 5 to go.
Big yards for Peterson, 133 yards on the ground, 20 carries.
Well, he's headed towards an all-conference type of season. 2nd down and 5 from the 32 for Brush. Urich under center. Pitches to Peterson, running right back to the middle. He's got a seam across the 40 to the 45. Might extend into the 46. And for Jaron Peterson, it's a gain of, we'll call it 13, just beyond the 45.
Yeah, some nice running. But I got to tell you, give some credit to Isaac Romero. Just some huge blocking all the way upfield. He hit the ground when Peterson did.
1st and 10 for Brush at the 45. Peterson again off the pitch, back to the middle. Then he stumbles at the 48. Not sure what happened there, Dave. It's like the turf monster got him.
Well, our pulling guard that was coming out here to kick that defensive end
Did he
kind of dove at him,
Yep.
and he missed the block, and that allowed that defensive end to slide in there.
2nd
down and 7 to go for the Beet Diggers at their own 48-yard line after the gain of 3 by Jaron Peterson. 10:23 to go in the game. Valley 21, Brush 14. Peterson has had 3 consecutive carries. And Urich's going to pitch it to him again. Peterson wants to throw. Heaves it up the left side, and the pass is going to be caught by Dunker. It almost went through a Valley defender's hands and caught by Dunker at about the 29. Holy Wahungus, what a play on that pass and a 1st down. And that's a gain of 23 for Brush. And Jaron Peterson, he's turned into a passer the last 2 weeks. But, Dave, I can't believe that went through and it was caught.
Well, the Valley kid messed up. Went right through his hands.
1st and 10 for the Beet Diggers at a 29. There's the pitch to Peterson, stutter stepping, running left. And then he lunges back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. just so he wouldn't be thrown for a loss. 2nd down and 10 to go for the Bead Diggers. This will be the 6th play of the drive. Still plenty of time left in the game. 9:50 to go. The Bead Diggers are down by 7.
We got to break the hex right here, though. This is where we usually stumble.
In a shotgun is Cade Urich. On 2nd and 10, Peterson in motion to the left. And this will be a quarterback keeper right up the gut. And the ball is fumbled, and Valley recovers. Valley's got it at the 26-yard line. Give Urich 3 yards, but then he was popped. And we got a Bead Digger down. Well, getting up slowly is one of the offensive linemen, Romero, but a Valley Viking is down. So Valley has it with 9:25 to go at their own 26. And Dave, you can bet they're going to try to eat up as much clock as possible and run the football.
Yeah, but that plays into our defense's best game. You know, we've been able to stop the run for the most part.
If the Bead Diggers do not come back and tie the game, they will drop to 1-5, their first losing season since 2001.
Guy they got to watch, Trujillo, 77 yards on 14 carries. He's the guy.
1st and 10 for Valley at their own 26-yard line. The backs in an eye. There is the give to Nash, and he's swallowed up after a yard. Right into the middle of the Bead Digger defensive line. J.R. Puga made the hit.
Nash has had to work hard for all 7 yards he's gained tonight on 6 attempts.
Gain of a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd down and a long 8 to go, just shy of the 28. 2 receivers to the right. And the Bead Diggers got to try to get a turnover. They don't have one in this game. Rolling to his right is Delgado, still rolling, throwing, and the pass is incomplete. At the 37-yard line, there were 2 receivers out in the area. It'll be 3rd down, Dave. I'm surprised they went to the pass on that 2nd play.
I am too. You'd think, like you said earlier, they'd keep that clock rolling. But confident in their passing game, I guess.
But can the Bead Diggers get off the field on 3rd down? 3rd down and a long 8. Just shy of the 28. Trips to the left. Under center is Delgado. The lone setback is Delgado, and it wasn't Nash before Delgado. That's Gabriel. He gets the pitch left, swinging it to the left side across the 30 to the 35. He's got a 1st down. Oh, my gosh. The Bead Diggers were there to make the play. He gets to the 38, a gain of 10. And the drive continues for Valley. That could be a killer for the Bead Diggers trying to get back and tie this game.
Well, you knew they had to have predicted that was going to be that quick pitch. They got those trips out there making us think, you know, there's an outside chance they could throw the ball. But, you know, again, their receivers doing a real good job of stock blocking our corners, and our corners can't get rid of those blocks and come up for support.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Handoff to Delgado right side. He's got 2, maybe 3 yards as the Bead Diggers stack him up at the 41. Riggs Tan and J.R. Puga. Check that. That's Daniel Abadka. Excuse me. I'm getting that uniform number confused because they've switched 84 and 64. Abadka in on the hit. 2nd down and 7 at the 41.
Russia stayed in that 5-3 most of the night. Kids have been playing it pretty tough, but like I said, you know, our defensive line, especially there in the middle, getting pushed back every once in a while. It sure is causing some traffic problems for our linebacking crew.
In a shotgun is Delgado. 2nd and 7 from the 41. Awaits the snap. Has it. Will keep the football. Stutter stepping back to the middle. And then he gets to about the 45. Maybe the 46. Dunker made the hit. But still, it's a good 4 yards there. Setting up a 3rd down. And a little bit less than 3 to go for Valley.
Half our guys were tackling the quarterback. Nobody knew where the ball was. Had some really good play action and some good fakes there.
We're closing in on 7 minutes to go in the game. Valley leads 21-14. They scored in the first play of the quarter. 35-yard run by Aaron Trujillo. 3rd down and 3 at their own 45. More than likely a running play. It will be running left back to the middle. Short of a first down is Delgado, but not by much. He's at the 47.5.
Number 3 on the carry.
As Stegner made the hit. Oh, man, that's a good spot. No, they can't give him the first down there. He's going to be short. That's close to 3 yards, Dave. That's too good of a spot, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it should have been back about a half a yard. That's taking Delgado up to 68 yards on 10 carries. He's really having a big effect in this fourth quarter.
Well, they're going to bring out the sticks. And let's see. They got to stretch that out a lot more than that. Yeah, there you go. There's the stretch. You'll be short, but not by much. Probably about a foot. And with 6:39 to go, the B-Diggers do have 3 timeouts. But you don't want to be calling those timeouts on defense. You want to stop them and then get the ball back and have a shot to tie the game on offense.
Well, we haven't seen Valley go on a long count all night. Should enable some of our blitz and linebackers to make sure they fill that A gap, keep that quarterback from sneaking it or handing the ball off up the middle.
3rd down and a foot to go. Oh, is it 4th? Excuse me, 4th down. That's right. It is 4th down. My bad. And a foot to go at the 48. They'll go for it. Delgado quarterback sneak. First down. He's got a big gainer across the 50 to the 48. Maybe the 47. And a quarterback keeper. He got 5 yards.
Yeah, they should have seen that coming. We didn't have anybody there for that A gap. Luckily, he fell down because there wasn't anybody else back there to make the tackle.
Valley's looking to put the game away on this drive. They've held the ball for 3.5 minutes. 1st and 10 from the Brush 47. Flanagan is in motion to the right. There's the pitch there to Delgado, and he's got some yards across the 45 right side to the 44.
Gain of 6 on the play, brings up 2nd down.
It's not a gain of 6. That's closer. The longest 6 we've seen. That'd be a gain of 4 to the 43. 2nd down and 6 to go for Valley, but Brush got to make a play behind the line of scrimmage, Dave.
Yeah,
if not, they're just going to run out the clock or something. Hand off Delgado. 1st down. He stutter steps across the 40 towards the 37. Needed 6 and got 6. On the 9th play of the drive. Well, if he didn't get the first down, he's right there. Well, they give him 5 yards, but that's 3rd down and half a yard.
Well, he's their leading rusher now tonight. 78 yards on 12 carries. Trujillo's got 77 yards on 14 carries.
The Vikings doing what they have to do, moving it right down the field. 3rd down and half a yard to go for the 38. This will be a give to Delgado. 1st down. Nick Wellen makes the tackle. Gain of 2 to the 36 for Gabriel Delgado. Hey, the B-Diggers might not get the ball back.
Well, they're definitely going to have to make a play. So he's going to have to put a helmet on that football or something to create a turnover.
4:23 to go in the game. This is a 5-minute drive. Remember, the fumble was at the 26-yard line. And now they're at the Brush 36, leading 21-14 with 4:10 to go. 1st and 10 Valley from the 36 of Brush. Play action, looking to throw over the middle. The pass going to be complete. Wide open inside the 20 towards the 16-yard line. That is Chase Miller, a junior. It's a gain of 20 to the 17. And I'm shocked that Valley threw it there, but it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, they caught us all off guard. That takes them to 100 yards passing tonight on 12 attempts. They've completed 7 of those. But I'll tell you what, it was a nice throw and nice catch right over the middle.
Yeah, now the B-Diggers do need a turnover. 1st and 10 at the Brush 17-yard line. Clock reads 3:36 to go in the game. This will be a give to Delgado, and Kenny Stegner makes a nice tackle at the 15. Gain of 2, second down and 8.
Gain of 2 on the play.
He's got 82 yards now on 14 carries. They tried to switch us up a little bit, fake that handoff on that fly around the end, and it didn't fool Stegner.
As you mentioned, Dave, they're going to have to take a chance here defensively and guess right.
Somebody's going to have to stand him up, and somebody else is going to have to rip the ball out of his hands, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we're under 3 minutes to go in the game. Second down and 8 to go at the 15. 2 receivers out to the right. No reason Valley would throw now. There is the pitch right to Delgado, cutting it back to the middle. Broke out of an ankle tackle and then makes his way to about the 12. And now the Bee Diggers call a timeout. Brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm. No, yeah, they did. By Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Gain of about 3. Did they give him the 11?
Viking down the field.
Close to 4 yards. Yeah, it's at the 11. It'll be third down and 4. There's a Valley Viking down with 2:41 to go in the game. Got to be impressed the way Valley's come out in this fourth quarter, Dave. They had the big turnover. Rush had a chance to tie the game.
Yep, they took advantage of it, and it kind of came down to who made the most mistakes. Well, they made some big mistakes, had a couple of big penalties, but, Brush was down there on the 30 a couple different times like they've done a lot this season, just stubbed their toe and couldn't get that one more first down. They needed to get to the 19, just couldn't do it.
So when play resumes, as the Valley Viking is being treated there at about the 20-yard line for an injury. As you can tell, it's getting real cold now. Third down and 4 to go. It's at the Brush 11. Again with 2:41 to go in the game. Let's take a 1-minute break. Back in 1 minute while they attend to the Valley player on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com.
So the lead 21-14.
Well, Gabriel Delgado is the injured player. He's off the field now. The team's back on the field. 3rd and 4 for Valley at the Brush 11. In the gun is Delgado. Handoff to Nash up the middle. First down to the 5 towards the end zone. And he is in for a touchdown. Kylan Nash from 11 yards away on the 14th play of the drive. Valley 27, Brush 14.
Well, you keep running the football and having success pounding it like that. We've talked about tenderizing the defense, and that's kind of what happened to us tonight.
27.
Nash to attempt the extra point. The Bee Diggers had a brief lead here at 14-13, but that has vanished. And the extra point is up, and it is good. 2.5 to go in the game. Valley 28, Brush 14 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Well, the Bee Diggers now need a miracle. Down by 14 points. After the 11-yard run by Tylen Nash. What a drive. It took up nearly 7 minutes. Now the Bee Diggers to receive the ensuing kickoff. Now Brush has got to figure out, Dave, how to play an entire game.
How to score fast.
Yeah, they're throwing these things up here.
Yeah. Nerf footballs, the guy caught it with his head right there.
Yep. Here's a short kick. Fielded by one of the up men at the 28, across the 35, down to the 36.
9 yards of return.
That is Morales.
First down, Brush.
Well, the Bee Diggers now going to have to put it up every play just to have a chance. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. 2:27 to go in the game. Urick out of the gun. 5-step drop. Looks to throw. Over the middle. Called by Peterson. Stutter steps. Back to the middle to the 40. Across the 40 to the 44. Gains 8 yards. 2nd down and 2 to go. Bead Diggers are going to huddle. And by the time the next play gets underway, they'll be under 2 minutes. 2nd down and 2 from the 44-yard line. Wallen in motion to the left. Cade Urich sets up, throws it out to the left. Caught by Lopez, and he's taken down well behind the line of scrimmage. That's a huge loss. And now time is called. Yeah, that loss is going to be for a good 5 yards. Timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. I think that was more of a lateral anyway, Dave.
Yeah. So we've thrown the ball 22 times, completed 10 of them, so our average is going up a little bit. 140 yards passing.
3rd down and 7 to go for the 40. The one thing we noticed immediately, Dave, it's been a very light crowd.
Yeah, not a lot of Diggers here, but also Valley, home game, and this is a big game for them.
Yep.
It's pretty sparse.
It'll be 3rd down and 7 to go for the Bead Diggers at the 40-yard line. Urich with a 3-step drop, pressure coming, throws over the middle, a diving attempt incomplete. Thrown too low there for Ben Brown at the 49. It'll be 4th down, and this will be essential of the game if it isn't already.
Urich took a hit after he threw the ball. He's trying to regroup. Get ready for his last play.
He's been well protected tonight for the most part.
Yeah, that play he took a hit, but you're right. The rest of the night, really hasn't had a lot of pressure.
It'll be 4th down and 7 to go for Brush at their own 40, down 28-14. Urich out of the gun, high snap, looks, throws out to his left, caught by Peterson, stutter steps, and he breaks a tackle, but not a second. He gets across the 40 to the 41, and that essentially turned into a 1-yard gain, and the Bead Diggers turned it over on downs, and all Valley has to do is take a knee. Yeah, don't even need to really run a standard play.
46-yard, correction, 41-yard line.
Let's see if they just take that knee with 1:35 to go. They're setting in an offensive lineman here pretty late in the proceedings. Well, it looks like they're going to run out of this formation. 1st and 10 at the Bead Digger 41. There's the give left side for a gain of 2. And ball carrier there, I believe, is Nash.
Tyler Nash on the carry.
2nd down and 8.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, I don't get this, Dave. Just take a knee.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's part of the reason they haven't had the success Brush has had over the years, too. Making mistakes like this.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take a knee here. I don't get what's happening. Man in motion, 2nd down and 8 from the 39. Hand off to Nash, running right. He's going to be held up. Good penetration by Dunker, gain of 1. Unless the Bead Diggers intend on calling a timeout, but look at the clock. There's 41 seconds to go. Coach Call's not going to call a timeout. Just take the knee and get out of here. I mean, anything else doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So it's 3rd down and about 7. Yeah, now, let's see.
God.
Trips to the left. He got 16, so why not take a knee? And there's a pitch left. This is just garbage. And there's Nash. He's hit at the 36-yard line for a gain of 2. Ryan Dunker, in frustration, tried to throw him off his body. 4.9 seconds to go. There's a Bead Digger down. Well, you know what? I mean, there's no reason to run plays. And the game is over.
Injured Brush player on the play.
And that's what happens. You can get somebody hurt in this situation.
But prolongs their time outside too, I guess.
That's just garbage. I'm sorry. I mean, you take a knee and get out of here. That's what should have happened. No reason to run plays up by 2 touchdowns. Now we got an injury on the field. And, I mean, the starters are out there. I could understand if you want to run a play with a second team or a few second team players.
Yeah, but not your guns. I agree with you.
And essentially, I mean, the clock is going to re-roll once the injured player is up for Brush. That might be Jade Queen. I'm not sure, Dave. I see a 1.
Yeah, it's Jade Queen.
So, yeah, that's just too bad. That is too bad. I mean, that is something that should not have happened. I mean, you're inside of 20 seconds. It's third down. Brush is not calling a timeout. If not, they would have done it. You would have think one of the first 2 plays. You're up by 2 scores, and you run a pitch left.
Yeah. If anything, it should all been handoffs up the middle, if anything.
And Queen is going to get up, and as soon as he's off the field, the clock will roll. Nice hand given by the Valley fans. Yeah, it looks like an ankle on the final play of the game. And Queen has been valuable this year, Dave. He's made some pretty decent plays for a sophomore.
Yep, he has. He's been a great player for us. The Diggers' depth is starting to have its effect.
Fourth down, again, 4.9 seconds to go in the game.
Now they're going to have to wait for a little kid down in the end zone to stop kicking the ball back and forth with his friend on the field.
Jeez.
Number 10 being helped off the field.
Well, just start rolling the clock and it's over. I mean, this game should have been over 3 minutes ago. And there it is. And the final score, Valley 28, Brush 14. Let's take a 2-minute break on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. The Beet Diggers fall tonight to the Valley Vikings by a score of 28-14. Beet Digger post-game shows brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center with 3 locations to serve you better. Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Your headquarters for your home, farm, and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed. Mr. D's Ace Home Center. The Beet Diggers did grab the early lead on a 32-yard run by Jaron Peterson, making it 7-0. Valley would come back a little bit later on the first play of the second quarter, in fact. 20-yard run by Gabriel Delgado, and that tied the game at 7 following a special teams mistake by the Beet Diggers. Valley took advantage before the break, and Rafael Delgado scored from a yard out. PAT was no good, 13-7. And then Valley, in the third quarter, made the same special teams mistake that Brush did in the first half, and that resulted in Cade Urig's 1-yard run. Brush had a 14-13 lead, but credit Valley. They ran the football very well down the stretch. 8 plays, 65 yards in 3.5 minutes. Aaron Trujillo from 35 yards out on the first play of the fourth quarter. And then a 14-play, 74-yard drive in nearly 7 minutes following a Brush fumble at the 26-yard line. Tyler Nash scored from 11 yards out. That's the final 28-14. Dave, that Valley running game was certainly better in the second half than the first half.
They sure were, and they ended up with 2 guys that really put the pressure on Brush on the ground. Trujillo ended up running the ball 14 times for 77 yards. And then Delgado, he's the one that came on in the third and fourth quarter. He ran for 87 yards on 15 carries. Nash also had 22 yards on 10 carries, and the quarterback had 5 carries for 2 yards. He threw the ball 12 times, completed 7 passes for 100 yards. His receivers were Flanagan, Caracello, Nash, and Miller. Flanagan was the one that was their big receiver, though, with 35 yards himself. They had 290 yards total offense. 41 of those were rushing plays.
Beet Digger Player of the Game is brought to you by Cargill Beef, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by improving products and processes. That's Cargill Beef. And the Beet Digger Player of the Game, as we go through the Brush stats, is pretty obvious, Dave.
Yeah, it's got to go to Jaron Peterson again. He's responsible for 223 yards of our 290 yards offense tonight. He had 142 of those on the ground. He ended up catching the ball for a total of 81 yards. He had 6 receptions. Just a huge night for him. Lopez had 4 carries for 25 yards. Wellen had 2 carries for 2 yards. As far as receiving goes, like I said, Peterson had 81 yards on 6 catches. Wellen had 1 catch for 23 yards. Taylor, Brown, Dunker, Lopez, they all had a catch. And then Urick ended up running the ball for 16 yards. Threw the ball a grand total of 25 times, completing 12 of those. So, a good night passing for Brush, even though it started off pretty rocky. Our passing numbers are pretty good considering what we usually do.
Valley with a victory improves to 1-1 in the Patriot League East and 4-2 overall. The Beediggers in the Patriot East are 0-2, 1-5 on the season. They've lost 4 consecutive games, their first losing season since 2001. The Beediggers will be back in action coming up on Friday night at home against Weld Central. We'll have it right here on 1010 as well as KSIR.com. Tonight's replay engineer has been Julie Garcia. Our sound engineer for this game has been Rose Condas, doing a great job once again. For Dave Urick, I'm John Beltran. The final score from Gilchrist: the Valley Vikings 28, the Brush Beediggers 14. On Facebook Live, 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.